hear me and that you can see the slide deck on the screen, please use the chat box and let me know, and then we will get today's webinar started. Okay, great. Hi, Todd. Hi, Mary. Hi, Ed. Hello to Megan as well. Good to see you all here. We're just going to hang around. I know we're a few minutes past the start time, but I just want to give it 1 or 2 more minutes before we get into the depth of today's webinar, because for some reason the last couple of webinars we've had a lower number of people than usual attend, and the attendance has started to pick up a couple minutes in. So we'll just wait a couple minutes before we get into depth, just to give chance to a few more people to join us. But in the meantime, I would love to find out from those of you that are here, like how many of you have been on one of these webinars before, and how many of you are here for the first time. Please let me know in the chat box. Yeah, so Todd is a regular, which is great. Thanks for coming back, Todd. Ed's first time, Megan first time, which is awesome. Rudolph first time as well, which is great. So it's really good. It looks like we have a good mix of people here. And are any of you currently utilizing Promo Republic's agency specific solution? Are you Promo Republic agency customers? I'm assuming for some of you who are here for the first time, probably not. I know Mary is. We've seen Mary here before, I believe. I hope I've got that right. So hello, Mary. Welcome back. Awesome. Okay, so we're 5 or 6 minutes past the start time. So I think what I'll do is I will just kick things off, and if people join us late, then that's fine. They can catch up as we go. So today's webinar, we're going to be talking about 5 ways that kind of smaller agencies or middle-sized agencies can compete with maybe some larger, more well-known agencies and still win a significant amount of business off the back of that. So today we'll be talking about how to position your agency, 5 tips to help you compete with bigger agencies, and then we'll do a Q&A session as well. Now, towards the end of the webinar, I will also be giving you guys the option to get access to a couple of really cool resources. One of the resources, if you've been here on the webinars before, you may have seen before. And as I said, at the end of this webinar, I'll let you know how you can get access to these. So the first resource is a list of over 60 different tools to help you build and grow your agency. We have different categories from like prospecting, content curation, distribution, contracts, invoicing, all this kind of stuff. A huge list of all different tools that you can use with links and explanations about what they are. So we have that. And we also, today, we are going to give away slide decks. So I've done over 25, maybe even 30 of these webinars now for Promo Republic, and we'll touch on that in a second. But I'm also going to be giving away either all of the slide decks or the 5 or 10 of the best performing webinars that we've done, I believe. I just need to double check with the team. But I'm going to be giving away all of those decks with all of my notes on them and everything like that too. So I will give you guys a bit more of an idea right at the end of the webinar today about how you can get access to that information if you would like. So as I said, today's agenda, even everyone, is how to position your agency, 5 tips to compete with bigger agencies, and then we'll finish with a Q&A session. We have some really valuable content in here today. I'm expecting it to probably take around about 25-30 minutes, and then we will have lots and lots of time to just engage with each other and to help and support each other too. So for those of you who are here for the very first time, you probably have no idea who I am, so I will just quickly introduce myself. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you my life story or anything like that, but my name is Dylan Hay, and like many of you, I am also a marketing agency owner. I run a business called Hey Digital, and we manage paid ads campaigns for SaaS and tech businesses, okay? And I set up my agency in May last year, so I'm just over a year into things now. Had a really successful first year, which is awesome, and before that, I worked for a couple of well-known businesses like Hootsuite. Some of you might even use their tool. Experienced some great growth at a company called Leadfeeder. I used to have a podcast that ranked very, very highly in the social media world. Been picked up here, there, and everywhere, different content features. And I, aside from running my agency, I support Promo Republic with this Promo Republic Agency and Freelancer Academy. So if you guys don't know, last year, Promo Republic released a special kind of version of their platform specifically tailored towards agency owners and freelancers with some incredible extra options and features, if you want to call it that. And when they launched that agency service, I know Mary is a customer of that, and I think Todd maybe too. I'm not sure about Todd, but I think Todd might be a customer too. One of the big kind of focal points for Promo Republic was building out an education platform and really helping you guys, agency owners, freelancers, build, scale, grow your businesses easier. And they approached me and asked me if I would help support with that. So I lead on a content front. I run these webinars every 2 weeks usually. This month we've done a couple more. And then also I'm involved with a podcast that we have coming very, very soon. So to give you guys a sneak peek on that, I'm actually recording one of the first interviews tomorrow. And we every few months we also do a big online summit, which we did last time in January, which was over 2 days with 16 speakers from some world-leading agencies and companies, sharing their tips and tricks for free about how you can grow your business and how you can deliver better results for your clients. So that's a little bit about me. Aside from my agency, aside from this, I spend a lot of time coaching and working one-to-one with other agency owners, other entrepreneurs, helping them build out their agencies, build their personal brands. So I do have a YouTube channel, a Facebook group. So please go and check me out there if you're that way inclined. But that's enough about me. The focus of this webinar, the focus of all of this content that we put together is specifically on how to help you guys, right? How to help you build and grow your agency. So those people that haven't been here before, that's your first time here, could you please go ahead and use the chat box? I like to keep these webinars as interactive as possible. Please go ahead and use the chat box and let me know how big, like what size your agency is, or what your agency focuses on, because that would be really useful for me to make sure I can help engage with you. And then in the meantime, at a couple of points throughout this webinar, I will talk to you a little bit more about the Promo Republic agency solution, and I will show you some of the ways that it can help you build and scale and grow your business. Now, it's not going to be a full-scale demo. Don't worry about that. That's not the purpose of these webinars. These webinars are here to provide you guys with value and help build this incredible community that we have. But we will show, just for a few minutes, some of the really cool and interesting things about the Promo Republic dashboard. And if any of you did want to find out more about the agency-specific solution at any point, I will put a booking link on the screen a couple times throughout this webinar. And that booking link is so that you can actually schedule a call with a member of the Promo Republic team. Don't worry, it's not going to be like a big pushy sales call, but you can schedule a call with a member of the Promo Republic team, and they will answer any of your questions, show you the product, show you the platform, walk you through it, and just help you to understand what's so special about this platform. And anyone who schedules a call with the team, using the link that I provide in this webinar, we do a special thing in these webinars where for the first 5 calls that are booked from these webinars, everyone will receive a special discount on the actual price already, just from using a link from this webinar. You will also be given access. I know I said I'd touch on this later on, but you will receive full access to the document that I talked about with the 60 different tools, and you will get access to the previous webinar decks if you schedule a call using this link, and you must turn up to the call because the team will deliver that information to you via email once you've completed the call with them. So if you do want to find out more, if you want a special discount, if you want the sheet that I mentioned with the 60 different tools that you can be utilizing to help you grow your business, and you want access to the webinar decks from the past, you can go ahead and do that. And also anyone that then has one of those calls and goes on to become an actual agency customer will be entered into like a draw to have an opportunity to win a 1-hour consulting call with me completely free of charge. So I will I'll pop a little box up on the screen just now. So maybe if one or two of you could let me know that this works, there should be a call to action that appears on the screen. You can press that, it will take you to a booking link, and then you can schedule onto a call. And as I said, only 5 people, the first 5 people that book those calls will get access to all of those documents and the special discount. So if you're intrigued, if you do want to learn more, go ahead and do that. And as I said, I'll put it up 1 or 2 more times, but only 5 slots are available. So Peter says he has 5 people in his agency, which is awesome. David focuses on B2B small businesses offering digital marketing and IT services with 4 employees, which is great. Megan works with non-profits and small businesses, focusing on creative ways to help them thrive. And recently solo with 2 part-timers, recently folded a larger agency with a business partner. Okay. And then Giovanni has a focus on e-commerce and web marketing services and has 3 employees. Awesome. Cool. Okay, great. So it sounds like we have a nice mix of smaller sized agencies here. I'm sure we maybe might have some larger agencies too. But let's get into things. So before we get into the 5 kind of tips about what you can do to compete with the bigger guys if you ever find yourselves in that position, I want to talk about positioning for a second. So anyone that works with me on like a one-to-one coaching or consulting basis, or follows me on my YouTube channel or anywhere else, will know that I'm always talking about positioning and the power of positioning. And it's really important to discuss this when it comes to an agency too. Now, I was doing some research earlier on this morning for me when I was putting together this deck. I say this morning I'm based in Europe. I know many of you here will be in the US, but I was doing some research this morning and I found this diagram and this article today that I thought was really interesting. So I decided at the last minute to kind of change the presentation slightly and include this. So the article said that your agency's brand positioning, it described it as similar to a vortex, and that's what they've like depicted in this diagram here. And the way that they said this is, when a vortex is first beginning to form, it's small and relatively weak, but as it grows in size, it strengthens its pull, just like an agency, right? Eventually it becomes so strong and powerful that it pulls everything in its grasp right into the eye of the storm. The bigger and stronger your agency's brand becomes, the more it will help you to pull in prospects, and I completely agree with this. They said that the stronger your brand positioning, the more valuable your prospects will view your agency to be. And the more valuable your agency is in the eye of the prospect, the more they'll want to work with you and the more they'll be willing to pay for your services. Okay, and I think this is a really important topic to discover and to think about a little bit more. Is just from like the way that you position your brand, the way that you set yourself apart from other agencies, the way that you describe yourself in content on your website, in your sales calls with people, your kind of core focuses for the business, etc., how you build trust, and we'll talk about that later on too. Like, the stronger your positioning is, the easier it's going to be not just to attract clients, but to actually close clients, and more importantly, to generate higher retained values on your contracts. And I know that many of you will want to do that. Who doesn't, right? Everyone wants to grow their business and get paid more by their clients and from their clients for this. So it's all well and good talking about positioning, but there are a couple of kind of key steps to help improve your agency's positioning. I think there are 2 different key steps to help with this, okay? And in my opinion, the first one is actually just differentiating. It's a very hard word to say for me sometimes, but differentiating your agency. You know why your agency is better than other people's, right? But do your prospects? Probably not. If they don't, they'll think that you're just another agency and they'll just keep looking. Because how many agencies are there out there now? Every man and his dog is setting up a digital marketing agency, right? And you have to differentiate from those people. Taking your unique value proposition and making sure you're constantly referencing that, always talking about that, singing it from the rooftops to your prospects, that is what's going to draw them in. Thousands of agencies in the world can successfully manage paid advertising, and thousands could build a great website, or maybe even generate great social media marketing campaigns, right? But the way, like, if you tell your prospects how you do it differently, that's what's going to set you apart from these people. Bragging about your incredible turnaround time, your streamlined project management process, or your client training opportunities will set you apart, and they will add value in the eyes of the consumer. And this is so, so important. We want the prospect, the consumer, or however you want to describe them, we want them to see additional value in working with you, because the more value they see, the more they're going to be willing to pay, and the more reason they're going to choose to work with you and to work with your agency. And suddenly then you're not just another agent who can run Facebook ads, you're one that can do it successfully in multiple different ways, and one that people want to work with, okay? So the first tip for positioning your agency successfully is through differentiating yourself. And I'm actually going to show you one way that you can differentiate yourself. Now, you remember I said one of the things I will do is give you a quick insight into the Promo Republic kind of agency specific dashboard and walk you through how that can help. Now, I will only do this if it's valuable in the kind of given context, and today it definitely is valuable in the context because we're talking about differentiating yourself from other agencies, right? And through using tools like Promo Republic, there are great ways that you can set yourself apart from some of the other more amateur agencies out there. But before we get into this, I can see Peter's comment, don't promote marketing services, use keywords like conversion rate optimization. Yeah, that's one good point, Peter. I guess conversion rate optimization is a marketing service though. But what I would say is you want to be showing your prospect or your customer the clearest path to revenue, like a clear path to revenue, a clear path to return on the money that they're spending with you. And often that isn't through pitching your marketing services, it's through explaining the results that you're going to generate for them and how you're going to generate those results. Okay, so let me just show you real quick a couple of really cool things that can help you differentiate your agency from some of the others out there. Now, you're going to have to let me know if you can see my screen. I'm going to start sharing in a second. Now, I did test this before we started the webinar and all seemed to be working fine. Just love to double check. So if you could let me know if you can see my screen, I would really, really appreciate that. Awesome. So Todd can see it, Peter can, David can, Megan can. Awesome. Everyone can see it. So we'll jump into this now. David, I'll get to your question at the end when we do the Q&A section. I also have something about SEO and stuff like that a little bit later on, so stay tuned for that. And I know we have a few users of the agency specific solution here, so please feel free to chime in and let people know what your experience has been like with using Promo Republic agency specific solution and how it's helped you differentiate your agency from some others, because I know Mary has maybe had that experience, maybe Todd too. So this is the Promo Republic dashboard, right, that you're seeing right now. This is what it looks like as standard with the Promo Republic branding, etc. One of the great ways you can differentiate yourself from the competition is through white labeling the Promo Republic solution. So one of the things that's offered specifically to agency customers and agency customers only is a fully white labeled social media management and client collaboration platform. That's probably the best way to describe this. And this is what it looks like. So you see the pink header up here with the love heart as the logo. We did this because when we set this demo dashboard up, it was in time for the Valentine's Day webinar. We did a webinar on Valentine's Day. That was how I spent my evening on Valentine's Day. But you can fully white label the solution. You can have your own domain up here, your own branding, everything like this. And one of the reasons this is so powerful and this can differentiate your agency from others is because you can use this as a client collaboration platform too. How many of you, when you're doing social media management, you're creating content calendars in Google Sheets, Google Excel, wherever, Microsoft Excel, whatever it's called now, and you're then sending those to your client for approval, or you're sending them emails asking them if this piece of content is okay, if you can use this image, if you can use this text. I know I don't even need to wait for the answers because I know some of you are doing that. And with the Promo Republic agency solution, you have inbuilt client collaboration features, and it's fully white labeled. So the client is going to think and understand that your agency is so great that you have your own social media management and marketing tool and your own collaboration tool, and it just looks so professional. And that can help you increase your revenue per client because you're positioning yourself in a much stronger light. But it can also help you deliver a much better service to your client and save time so that you can scale your business in other areas. Now, just to give you an example of what this looks like, what the collaboration looks like, if we were to create a post over here, you can also utilize our inbuilt, hopefully you can all see this on my screen, but you can also utilize the inbuilt graphics editor, very similar to Canva, if any of you have used that in the past, but we have over 100,000 different post templates within the library that you can make use of that are updated every single month. And you can change all of this in the agency solution. You can set branding for your different clients, and you can just switch in and out logos, fonts, text, etc. But let's say we wanted to post this. So we would use this one here. And then this would start to process. Usually it doesn't take this long, but when I do webinars in the evening and I'm screen sharing and recording and talking live, the speed slows down a little bit, so you have to forgive me. But what we can do is we can schedule the post here. So we'll call it test. But instead of scheduling or posting immediately, we can do this. Propose this post for approval and then click on schedule. We can select the time and the date. We can repeat the post if we want. We have a content recycling feature here, which will save you guys a lot of time too. And then once we schedule this or post it for approval, the client will receive an alert to let them know we want their approval on something. And then they can come and log into your white labeled platform, which looks extremely professional, and they can approve the post immediately. They can make edits, they can make suggestions. And this is a really, really great way to just quickly collaborate with your clients, save time in that collaboration process, but more importantly, make yourselves look like absolute experts. So this is the first thing to talk about to help set you apart. And then the other thing, as I said, there are plenty of incredible features and functions and great ways that you can utilize Promo Republic to help you build and grow your agency. But I just want to focus on a couple of the key points for this specific section. So we also have brand monitoring and brand reputation. This is a great way to set yourself apart. How many of you are working with local businesses, maybe restaurants, maybe even e-commerce stores, places where people will be asking questions and making comments? Let me know if you are. And I'm going to check out the chat box because I know we have a few in here. So David said most clients don't want to provide content or spend the time doing it in our experience. They want it done for them, which is awesome for you because you can do it faster. You don't have to go back and forth on the content, but you could use Promo Republic. We also integrate with a couple of stock photography websites, so you get lots of photography that you can use, lots of images, etc., and lots of templates like I will show you in a second. So I know some of you work with local businesses and stuff like that. Managing brand reputation, especially for those, can be really, really great. And this, if you're an agency customer, you can also upgrade and have this as an additional solution within Promo Republic. You can have social media monitoring and managing brand reputation. Now, unfortunately, I'm logged into an account that doesn't have access to this right now, so my bad. But basically what you can do across all your different clients, you can track all of the different mentions and comments all in one dashboard, in one place, and you can respond to them directly from here and get compelling insights to make sure you're ahead of the curve by monitoring all mentions and discussions going on around your brand. Now, this integrates with all the usual places, but also with Google My Business too, which is really, really important if you're running marketing for local businesses. So this is another great way to differentiate yourself and something that's available within the agency solution. Alongside, finally, we'll talk about this and then I'll kind of stop because, as I said, there are plenty of incredible things I could show you, but I don't want this to go on and become a full-scale demo. You need reporting. You need good reporting for your clients. And within the agency solution, we have reporting and analytics built in directly. So you can see things like reach, engagement, post-publish, posting habits, what your top posts were. So you see this one did pretty well. I think this was today, though. You can see the efficiency, the likes, the shares, the comments, etc. And we can even break this down into more depth if we want to. We can go in and look at the different sections. We can change the date ranges, and we can export to a really nice looking PDF report. You can do this with all your different social channels for all of your different customers that you are working with. So those are a few features of the agency specific solution. For David, who said most clients don't want to provide content, this is a great place where you can come in and check too. So this is the post ideas library. We have lots of ready-made content here for you, ready to go. You can sort by different industries. So we could say like sport and fitness, for example. We have ready-made posts, post ideas. You can, of course, edit all of these if you would like to too. Or you can search by keywords. So let's say if we're running a burger restaurant, maybe. Let's see if this will come up. So we can search for burger. We have a couple of templates here. We can go to photos. I'm pretty sure we'll have, here we go, 484 photos that are free for you to use directly from Promo Republic. So this is another great way if you are trying to get content to use for your clients. As Mary says, sometimes it can be like pulling teeth. So I'm not going to go in depth anymore and show you guys anymore. Mary, maybe if you want to do me a solid, do me a favor. I know you're an agency customer. Let me know what the experience has been like with the Promo Republic agency solution, because I think there's some people on this call who would like to see that kind of social proof and see that it has helped you with your business manage things better. And if anyone, as I said, would like to learn more, if they have any questions, they want to get a special discount on the price as well. It's already extremely well priced, but if you want a special discount on the price, you can go ahead and schedule a call with the team using the link that's just popped up on the screen right now, which will be there for the next couple minutes. And only the first 5 people will get that discount and all the other resources that I mentioned to you. And I will only share the link or this button one more time on the call today. So if you do want to find out a bit more, please go ahead and take things from there. So I can see Julia says, not sure if Dylan has given a webinar on pricing, but as Mary and others said, creating content is someone no one wants to do. How do you price these services? Yeah, Julius, that's a really good point. Like, I think I did one webinar on pricing a long time ago. I definitely did, actually. So you could go ahead and check that out. You might be able to find it on YouTube. But we can also cover that in future. One thing I would mention too is Promo Republic also offer like content as a service. So you can get content packages built for a very cost-effective price. So if you had a client, you could get the Promo Republic team, if you're an agency customer, to for a slightly additional cost, but it is very cheap. I think it's like $49 or $99. You can get some templates built and some content built for your clients. So that could potentially be one option too. And as you can see, Mary says she likes the agency solution. It helps them manage all of her accounts. Only issue is that my clients could not log into their profile. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the team should be working on that for you, Mary. I can't speak for them, but I'm sure that will get fixed so far. So we also have some good feedback about the new analytics feature, which is great too. So thanks for that, guys. Okay, so let's continue. So the second way to position your agency is, this is kind of two combined, but it's through building social trust and social proof. And people are learning not to trust ads anymore or all the time, because they've been tricked by potentially shady and deceptive companies in the past too many times. So instead of your agency talking about how great you are, you want to get someone else to do it for you. And this is where social trust comes into place. That can be through client testimonials, right? And they can go a long way when building perceived value. You notice I use the term perceived value a lot here. So look at this. Look at it like this. If someone told you how great their agency was, you probably wouldn't buy anything from them, or you wouldn't be as inclined to, even if they told you they were great. But if you see another business talking about their 125% ROI from the services of that agency, then you would probably consider it, right? So that should show you the power of testimonials. Go and get testimonials from your clients. If you're just starting out, you can let prospects try your services in return for a testimonial, potentially. I don't always agree to that, but maybe you could. Or if you already have happy clients, please reach out to them and ask them to do a quick 2-minute video. Most of them will definitely oblige. Then take those videos, put them all over your digital assets. Take quotes from them, take photos, put them on your website, your products pages, your Facebook page, your print materials if you have them. Anywhere you can, share this. And that is social trust. Now, social proof is similar to social trust, but it's a little bit of a larger scale. Instead of getting past clients to vouch for you, see if you can get features in other well-known places, and this can help you with social proof. Maybe you could try and get featured in your local newspaper, in entrepreneur.com, Bloomberg, like Business Weekly. There are so many different sites where you can work with them. You can either pay for someone to get you some PR, or you can try and publish your own articles on these sites or write for them. And if you're starting out, you might think this sounds impossible, but the thing is, a lot of these are local publications or publications you can pay to get into. And imagine what getting to say, as seen in Entrepreneur magazine, or we won this award. Imagine what that could do for your brand. Another way to gain great social proof, actually, is to apply for awards in your local area or contests in your specific niche. It might sound odd, but you actually stand a really good chance of winning once the judges know you exist. Once you start winning awards and getting publicly recognized, you will also start attracting more prospects and improving your perceived value. And getting these 3 brand positioning elements in place will help take your agency's branding up a notch, for sure. Clients will be intrigued by your agency's unique offerings, and then they'll see all of your satisfied customers and recognition from additional places, and this will begin breaking down barriers, resolving objections before they even arise. It will no longer be a question of, is it worth it to work with this agency, but instead they'll be asking if they can afford to work with you. And this is one thing that's helped me. So I paid for some PR early on into my agency. I've also applied for and won a number of awards, and like, you'd be so shocked. Most people think a lot of awards, they just have to discover you and then they pick you, and the chances of that are so slim. But actually, most awards, you have to apply yourself to get into these awards, or someone has to submit you into the awards. You could even have like a virtual assistant or someone go and find 100 different awards to do with digital marketing or local business in your area or in your country or whatever, and just apply to all of them. If you applied to like even 50, I'm pretty sure you'd probably win at least 1 or 2. It's much easier than a lot of people actually think. So Ches, I hope I've said that right, or says, what type of awards? Can you give some suggestions? So if you have a specific niche, so for me, we do marketing for SaaS businesses. We do paid ads for SaaS businesses and technology companies. So if I was to Google search technology marketing awards, SaaS marketing awards, SaaS awards, I live in Estonia, so Estonian business awards, European marketing awards, all these kind of things. And as Peter says, it's doable. They have some rules and it's expensive. Peter, some awards you do have to pay to get into. You've clearly discovered that, which kind of not defeats the purpose of this because you're paying to get the award, but they're not all expensive. Like I won an award last year as one of the top 50 SaaS people in the UK, which is great for me because we work with SaaS companies. I didn't have to pay for that. I just sent the guy who was organizing the awards a LinkedIn message, and next thing you know, I'm one of the top 50 SaaS people in the UK. So some you have to pay for, others you don't. And hopefully that answers Cez or Chez's question around giving some suggestions. Even your local area, like your city, your county, or your state, your country, even like marketing awards, small business awards, just general business awards, 30 under 30. A lot of cities do their own 30 under 30 awards, startup awards, etc., etc. They're not going to bring you clients immediately, but they can do wonders for your positioning. Like I paid to have some articles in Mogul, BuzzFeed, where else was I featured? Future Sharks, Thrive, quite a few other places. And that helps me immensely with landing speaking engagements because I can show them that I was featured by BuzzFeed and featured on all of these other websites. So it's a really easy way to get some good social proof with low barrier to entry. Okay, so let's get into the 5 tips, and then we will, after the 5 tips, we will do a Q&A. Cool. Okay, let's get into things. So, gone are the days when like bigger companies or higher revenue businesses would only work with giant advertising or giant creative agencies. Luckily for us, right, today, small agencies are winning big name accounts and cool projects far more often. And this trend is just going to continue, which is good news for all of us on this call. And here are 5 ways in which your agency can compete and win some incredible portfolio enhancing clients. So hopefully some of these tips help you out. Now, sorry, I was just having a swig of water, but number 1, I know this goes without saying, but become an expert. And let me explain what I mean by this, okay? Big agencies, ones that have hundreds of employees, they have a breadth of experience, years and years of experience, but often they lack the ability to really go deep, specific industry or product category. Today, industry, audience, channel, or product expertise is more important than being a full service agency that can do everything and anything. Brands are building rosters of experts, so figure out your marketing agency's strengths, build on those and promote that. If you're starting out a brand new agency or you're really early, it is super, super easy for us to say, okay, let's become full service, let's do video, let's do SEO, let's do design, let's do everything. But you must remember, you're only one agency in the beginning. You can't try and be 10 agencies at the same time. I really recommend niching down on something first. If you think about Apple, for example, they started with a computer. Then they gradually started adding other products. They added the iPhone, then the iPad, the iTouch, all these other things. You've got to niche down, and then you can start to scale from there. I would also say this, like let's say you decided to start on paid advertising first, or web design first, or CRO first, like Peter says. It's in your best interest to focus on a niche to begin with. That might be education, for example. It might be software as a service. It might be e-commerce. But that way you're able to say to people, hey, we only help education companies with paid advertising, or hey, we only help e-commerce businesses with social media marketing. And it becomes a lot easier to sell. It's a lot more tangible, and it makes it much easier for you to compete with those bigger agencies because you're an expert in one specific area and they don't have that selling power. So this is something that can really, really help you not only win business from larger agencies, but charge more for your services too, okay? So number 2, maximize on your agility. Now, I just took a screenshot of one of Mark Zuckerberg's speeches for Facebook a long time ago when their old phrase, or their old like key phrase, was move fast and break things. I know they've changed that now, but smaller often means you can be more agile. And that gives you a huge competitive advantage. A large agency can often be unwieldy. They can take a very, very long time to make decisions, and they're often very risk averse. It takes longer to coordinate a multitude of calendars with different team members. Ideas are being tossed around, and approvals can move up and down the ladder of seniority, and finally, then the project gets underway. With so many people involved in the process in these bigger agencies, pivoting to a new idea and testing new things can be nearly impossible. And this isn't the case with smaller agencies like ours. If trends change, a small agency can change direction, reboot plans, respond very, very quickly to the market, and more importantly, very quickly to your customers' needs. I really, really think you should maximize on this and make your clients and prospects aware of this. A lot of you probably don't. You might get worried about your client knowing that you're a small business or a small agency. But if you position yourself in the right way as this expert and focus on how you can maximize your agility and how that is going to generate better results for them if trends change, or let's say you want to action things faster, they're going to get quicker results and they should see a quicker process to revenue with you. So this is a second point to really, really focus on. And it looks like Peter has some of this nailed, doing a website in 24 hours. That would never happen with a huge agency. So number 3, this is a stupid picture of me in my living room earlier, or my kitchen even a couple of weeks ago. Look at me here, loving life. But I share pictures like this with clients all the time, like in emails. I send them funny GIFs and memes and all that kind of stuff. And the reason I do this is a growing number of large businesses and interesting clients, they don't want to look and sound like boring corporations anymore. And they don't want to be boring, right? They're looking at smaller agencies, people like us, for creative, outside the box thinking, innovation, fun, someone that can challenge ideas. And small agencies can often help these bigger brands with new perspectives, new processes, and approaches, because they themselves aren't tangled up in this big company bureaucracy. Like I'm not in a big company bureaucracy anymore, right? Like I run my own business, I do things the way that I want to do them, I manage my team the way I want to do it. We break things sometimes, but we go out and fix them. We test new things that bigger agencies can't. We are very agile, like I said in the earlier point, and we're very open about being ourselves. And clients love this. They have a much better experience. And as we've talked about in previous webinars, if your clients have a great experience, then they're going to stick around with you longer and puts more revenue in your pocket, which is really, really important. So number 4, be more picky. When you're a smaller agency, you take on as many clients because you don't have resources often. You have enough for maybe a few at a time, which means you have to be picky. And this pickiness can be great because it makes for a level of exclusivity, which sets the foundation for a good client-agency relationship in 2 ways. First of all, your client will feel more like a partner than a number, which is really, really important. And this is similar to what it's like when any business makes its emails, ads, landing pages, offers, etc. relevant to you instead of to the masses. It's personalization for the client. We love that. The clients love that too. And secondly, picking your clients carefully this way means that you can choose only the ones that will fit in with your agency. And when a client and agency mesh, it can open up doors for even greater productivity. So the detailed vetting a small agency does can really help weed out the clients who aren't maybe a good fit, while the bigger agencies will attract and then handle all of the ones that they can, right? And they're going to have a poor experience doing things that way. As Mary said, don't let your clients drain you. You select who you want to work with. That's a really good point, Mary. So someone mentioned about some SEO earlier on. Now, I'm by no means an SEO expert. We're actually working on, I never even had an agency website. I'm a year in. I didn't use a website. I didn't need one for my agency. I had enough business without a website. But now as we're starting to grow, we're starting to build out the team. We're wanting to work with even bigger clients. We need this presence. So we're working on this. And one of our huge strategies this year is going to be focusing on SEO. Okay. And big agencies usually have the budget to own broad keyword search terms. They cast a big net on Google and they weed people out further on into their funnel. So they can spend a lot of money on top of funnel keywords and still see results from them. But with a long tail keyword strategy, though, you can weed out those people that aren't relevant from the start at a much, much lower cost. And someone that works at Yoast, which is like an SEO plugin, some of you might know, said this: it is much easier to rank for long tail keywords than for more common keywords. Another benefit of focusing on long tail keywords is that although these keywords are used less in search, the visitor that finds your website using them is more likely to buy your service or product. So instead of bidding on small business marketing, you might bid more specifically on the types of services you offer and who your ideal client is. So this would look closer like search engine marketing for small dental offices, or maybe lead generation services for lawyers in San Antonio. And this technique ensures that only qualified prospects, ones who are likely to need that specific service, click through on that link and on that button. And at the same time, it doesn't drain your budget if you're running paid ads like it does with the bigger guys. So hopefully that helps to you. I think it was David that asked that question. So David said, what types of keywords do you think laymen search for in digital marketing They don't search for PPC or CPM. Yeah, they don't. So, David, do you use I would use some keyword researching tools to help you out with this. I would also use Quora to find out what kind of questions people are asking if you don't know already, and a website called Answer the Public, which will give you some really good suggestions as well. You just have to put yourself in the shoes of your buyer and think about what they're thinking. I don't know because I don't work with clients like that. I work with SaaS founders, so they're always looking at how they can reduce their cost of a trial, how they can improve their conversion rate, how they can attract more demo signups and trial signups, etc. No, David. So it is Quora like this. It's a question and answer site. There you go. And then also check out Answer the Public. I'm going to put the link, answerthepublic.com. So, Susan, there will be a replay, I believe, on the YouTube channel in a couple of days' time. Okay, so one more thing before we get into Q&A. At the start of the webinar, I talked a little bit about the agency-specific solution of Promo Republic. So for one final time, I'm going to put a booking link on the screen right now. Now, as I said, only 5 people will get the discount and all of the goodies that we talked about. So they may be gone by now. I'm not sure. I know there's only 23 of you on this webinar right now, so there might still be a seat or 2 available, so go check that out. But I wanted to share this with you. So this is a comparison of the Promo Republic agency solution against the others for any of you who are in the market trying to improve your workflows and your processes and generate better results for your clients, better relationships with your clients, more revenue for your agency. We did a calculation and it found this. An agency that manages 30 different social media accounts has a few team members and clients who want access to the tool. They want approval workflow features. They want to monitor mentions and hashtags of their clients. Choosing Promo Republic, just choosing Promo Republic alone over the competition, and you can see it stacks up better than pretty much all of the competition too. Choosing Promo Republic can save you from $600 to $5,400 every single year. And anyone that uses this link to schedule a call will receive a discount on that price too. So the agency package starts at $99 and the monitoring is an add-on of $49. I know because I used to work at Hootsuite, if you wanted any client collaboration and approval workflows within the Hootsuite tool, it would cost you minimum $600 per month. So just put that into perspective. So the agency solution is all about helping you in 3 different areas, helping you with your content creation, your collaboration, and your reporting, because we know that these are 3 core areas of an agency business that, if you get right, can really help you scale and grow and service more clients. Through the content, we have the graphics editor that I showed you earlier on, as well as 100,000 post ideas in the library that are updated every single month, and hundreds of thousands of stock images that you can use too. We have the collaboration platform where everything is gathered in one place, where you can easily communicate and collaborate with your clients. You can fully white label everything to give them an incredible experience. And we have the customer business profiles, so you can easily switch between your different clients with one click of a button. So that's a little bit about the agency solution, just wrapping up. Now, some of you will remember at the start of this webinar, I told you about a document that you could get access to. I'm just going to show you what this document looks like. So anyone who schedules a call with the team will get access to this document I'm going to show you in a second, which is the recommended tools and resources to help you grow your agency and grow your business. So let me open up the screen sharing just to show you this real quick. Anyone who schedules a call, shows up to the call, will get this. They will also get slides from previous webinars that I've run for Promo Republic. And you will also get to, or the potential of winning a consulting call with myself if you go on and become a paid customer. But this is what the document looks like. Over 60 different tools for agencies and freelancers, broken down into different categories like storage, time management, operations, hiring, SEO, PPC, white labeling. You guys get the idea. So you'll get access to that. You'll get access to the webinar slides, all the other cool stuff. So all you have to do is schedule a call with the team, and they will follow up with you off the back of that. So Mary, you're already a customer, so you can get access to it if you just email or go into chat support and say that you're on the webinar, you're an agency customer, and you would like access to the resources that we mentioned. You will get access to that. Okay, everyone, so that is the content that I had planned out for today completed. What we're going to do now is stop, and I will answer any questions that you have. Now, one thing I would love for any of you, if you did enjoy this webinar, if you found value in this, I would love for you to connect with me personally as well. So I have my own YouTube channel where I'm sharing advice for other agency owners, other people looking to start building their agency. I've put the link in the chat box. If you found value in what I said, please go ahead, click on that link, check out my videos. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that greatly. And for one last time, I will also put the booking link on the screen so you can schedule a call with the team. They might be all gone now, I'm not too sure. But let's stop and let's do some Q&A. Now, if you are leaving us now, if you're done, if you've maxed out on the content, thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it very, very valuable. I really do appreciate you. And I will see you hopefully again very soon. But I'll take questions from the rest of you. Okay, so Karen says, hello, Dylan. I did the sales call and didn't get my resources. Who should I contact? Okay, Karen. So I'm going to screenshot what you said right now, and I'm going to put that in the. I have access to the Promo Republic team Slack account, so I'm going to message them right now for you. So if you talk to the rep that you've been speaking with, the member of the team, they should send you access to that immediately. I'm really sorry that they haven't done that. That's bad of them. So I've just uploaded that into the Slack channel right now, and yeah, I took a screenshot, I put it in there. And great news that you want to purchase the solution next week. Mary, so if you go into the live chat in Promo, you can ask there and someone will share it with you. Or if you have a customer support rep or a sales rep that you dealt with in the past, reach out to them. And I'm going to follow up with all of them if they haven't been sending this out, because they should have been. That's part of the deal. This is one of the drawbacks of me not working with them full time, right? And just helping out with these webinars. Cool. So I don't see any questions coming through. So does that mean nobody else has any questions for us? Which is totally fine if you don't. No big deal. Okay, Mary says, I had emailed you and never had back. Okay, thanks. Apologies about that, Mary. If you emailed me at a Promo Republic address, I don't actually have access to that. It should be monitored by the team. I know that a lot of the emails about webinars, etc., are sent out from my name, but I don't actually have access to that inbox. So I'm really, really sorry about that. Okay, so Grace, great content today. Thank you, Grace. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Julius. Thank you, Todd. Giovanni says, an Excel that you have to show us. Where is it possible to download? Not sure I understand that question, Giovanni. Sorry. I can see a few people typing away, so I'll hang on for a little bit longer to see if we have any other questions. So Ches says, any onboarding tips for starting with new clients? Yeah, so I did a whole webinar on onboarding actually. So if you go ahead and check out the Promo, like go to YouTube and search for Promo Republic, and on the YouTube channel there'll be a whole webinar about that you can take a look at. Me personally, I'm actually building a course right now. I'm going to be releasing a course to help people build and scale their agencies, and I have a module onboarding too. So maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can get updates about that as well. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, I'll wrap this up. Awesome. Thanks, Mary. Yep, Grace, this webinar will also be on the YouTube channel. Great. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any other questions. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I really do appreciate it. I hope you found some value in this, and I will see you all again very, very soon. I hope you all have a great day.